there has been some changes to the Dowfall beta. The character that is most affected by those changes is this one, the Guardian. So as you can see, we no longer have Mode Shifter as our relic, as our starting relic. That's because the Mode Shift ability is now inherent to the character. And that's the, as far as I know, well, not literally the only way to enter defensive mode, but most of the ways to easily enter defensive mode have gone, as far as I'm aware. And that has been replaced with Brace, which is the new way you're gonna enter defensive mode. Well, but instead of talking about this here on the title screen, let's just jump into a game and see how these things actually work in game. There have been a lot of card changes as well, beside the mechanical changes to defensive modes. Some numbers have been adjusted and some cards work a bit different now. Hi Katira, welcome! Glad to see you. So, one of the cards that has been most significantly changed is Curl Up. Here we can also see the tooltip for defensive mode. Defensive mode is a stance, gives you 10 block when entering defensive mode. While in defensive mode, you have 3 turns, gain 10 block at the start of your turn, and your block does not expire. Then Brace, you have Brace has the effect of reducing the HP loss required to trigger Mode Shift by X. Triggering Mode Shift if the HP loss required is now 0. So Mode Shift is now the default way of entering defensive mode and is no longer part of your starting relic. That's just inherent to the character. And the Bronze Gear gives you Brace 2 at the start of each turn, so you make progress to defensive mode every single turn with the Bronze Gear. Curl Up boosts this by a little with Brace 5, Brace 7 on upgrade, and it gives you a big chunk of block when you are already in defensive mode. Anyways, let's take a look at the map. We are currently on Ascension 4, so bosses are deadlier, as well as elites and normal enemies, of course. We have a 3 elite path here, with 2 rests on the way, and a couple of question marks as well. And a shop. That's quite good. Do we just transform 2 cards? I'm always a big fan of transforming cards early. Gonna go for the defend and the strike. We got Charge Core and Compile Package. These seem to be unchanged from how I know them, so yeah. Ruby Key for some strength, although when you wanna upgrade something immediately. Honestly, Compile Package is a huge upgrade, very impactful. Yeah, let's go with the Compile Package upgrade. This will carry us through the early fights. Okay, so we can see here Mode Shift. We're currently at 18. When you lose 18 HP, gain 10 block, enter defensive mode for 2 turns, and increase the amount required to trigger this effect again by 10. So It does now last 2 turns, but it's much harder to get into. Let's see, enemies are attacking for 14. Can I finish one of them off? Yes, actually the backliner. That's probably the best. I miscalculated. Whoops. Should have obviously done that first, because now we can play Hyper Beam. Bronze armor is now gain an artifact brace 10. That would immediately put us in defensive mode. Sentry Wave has been changed. No longer draws a card. I think that's reasonable because it was very strong before. Still gonna go with bronze here. Use the bronze armor to get into defensive mode. Now we have... you will exit defensive mode at the end of this turn. Wait. Shouldn't it? It says for 2 turns. We'll see about that. Okay, so it doesn't last for 2 turns. Huh. Hi Maxwell! Welcome, glad to see you. Ruby, Temporal Strike. I don't think these have been changed, but Roll Attack certainly has. Deal 16 damage, if in defensive mode, affects all enemies. Otherwise, brace 5. I think the damage was also increased. I don't remember this dealing 16 then 20. Yeah, that seems good. Helps us get into defensive mode as well. Yeah, the free Brave tacked onto it makes this card actually very reasonable. Do I want to go for the merchant here? I only have 112 souls. We're gonna lose 15 of them to the merchant. So we'll be left with less than 100 souls there. I think not. Gained 100 souls there. If we go for this merchant, then we have to skip the rest side. We'll have to see about that. Let's go with Roll Attack Twin Slam for the damage. I could also have gone for the curl up there, that might have been reasonable. Let's compile a package here. Let's see. Harden has been changed. Must be in defensive mode, exit defensive mode, gain 14 block and 2 thorns. And Spheric Shield gain 15 block, brace 20. Exhaust. Okay. Hey Michael! Welcome! Let's see, so brace 30 on upgrade. This should put us in defensive mode immediately. And our next defensive mode, our next mode shift is at 11, it's at 11 more HP. So, yeah, but we still enter defensive mode only for 1 turn. So I assume the tooltip on mode shift is just wrong here. Let's harden to leave defensive mode. And gain some spikes. We can't use curl up to enter defensive mode again, but luckily we don't need to. Spike or Protocol. Gain 4 thorns while in defensive mode. Brace 10. Ooh, Incinerate has new art. Nice. Priming Shot. Deal 8 damage. Brace 3. So there's a lot of brace tagged on a couple of attacks and skills to help you get into defensive mode more easily. I do like an Incinerate. Currently we don't really have a clear strategy. Charge Core is just nice. Roll Attack. I want to see how it does. I think something like Spike Protocol might be a bit harder to justify, because it seems like you are gonna be in defensive mode much less often than before. Let's go with Incinerate here. Whew. Is the most fulfilling of lives that in which we can punch anything? I don't think so. I don't intend to go to this shop, so picking up a curse here is not that great, and we can't really spend the souls that easily, so let's leave the serpent be. The brace amount doesn't change on the roll attack. The damage goes up. Charge Core is a big damage upgrade. Curl up mostly will be for more brace. 7 is a reasonable amount. But now that it's no longer 0 cost, it's a bit harder to just slam the upgrade on it. I'm gonna go with roll attack here. Sometimes will be our AoE, but it's always just okay damage. Ooh. Mummified Hand. Whenever you play a power card, a random card in your hand costs 0 this turn. Purple Fire Spirits. We could pay them with souls for 10 max HP. It's basically buying a pair. It's not amazing, but I really don't want to offer the compiled package and the rest are commons. I could just offer a strike or a defend, of course, just to get rid of them. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. We get no reward for that, but we basically got a free removal out of it, so that's nice. Let's use this time to set up an Orborg, for example. Oh, Walker Claw also has new art. Sentry Blast as well. Oh, it's now Sentry. Oh, Sentry Beam is no longer a beam, it's now a blast. There are a few beam synergy cards, or there have been a few beam synergy cards in the Guardian. I'm not sure if these also have been changed. I think Priming Beam has been changed, so to give us Brace instead. So I assume probably the other one, Multi-Beam, has been changed as well. I think we're best suited with Orb Walker here, getting the strength. We could Incinerate, Roll Attack, Walker Claw, that's actually really good damage. Yeah, that's just 50 damage right now. Charge Core, Incinerate, draws us a Curl Up. We will be in defensive mode after the hit anyways. But we can prevent some of the damage here, I think. Okay, so because we gained another 10 block at the start of our turn, the defensive mode actually gave us 20 block in total, which is pretty neat. Obviously, that makes defensive mode much better to enter on the enemy's turn instead of your own. So maybe you want to use Brace to lower your mode shift to very low levels and then take small amounts of damage, which can be a bit tricky at times. We'll have to see how this works out. White Beast Statue. Potions always appear in combat rewards. Evasive Protocol. While in defensive mode, raise your dex by 3, brace 10. Raises dex by 5 on upgrade. Priming Shot would help us get into defensive mode if that's something we care about. But honestly, I think what we most care about right now is more stasis usage, and reroute will help us nicely with that. We haven't found any gems yet. Curl up roll attack against these enemies. Sadly, not as good as it used to be. How much brace can we do? We can brace 10, so we would need to take 8 damage. It's the only way we have of blocking right now. Well, you know what? Potions always appear in card rewards. So let's use this potion to kill the backliner. So we only take 4 damage this turn. Snacker Oil. Recover. Gain 5 block, brace 3. Place a card from your discard pile into stasis. Not bad. Fierce Bash. Haven't played with this at all, I don't think. Wow, the upgrade gives it 10 damage. Okay, it's a 3 cost. That makes sense, I guess. Place this into stasis. Tick, increase this card's damage by 3. It is tempting. We already have an Incinerate. That's an interesting build around card. Let's try it out. It's a bit slower, but maybe in a slower deck we can also make good use of some defensive mode stuff. I do want to block. I could curl up to get closer to defensive mode. I'm taking 5 this turn. If I brace 5, I will be at 8. No, I think I will go for the damage. I'm probably gonna enter defensive mode in next turn, if I brace at all. By bracing here, we enter defensive mode when the... I should have rerouted first, actually. Let's charge core instead. Yeah, we will enter defensive mode after we get hit, and then... we are defended against this attack. Let's put the Fierce Bash up there. I probably should have compiled package there instead, but I wanted to play with the Fierce Bash for a bit. Uh-oh. That maybe wasn't the smartest idea. Phew. Shuffle. You can now dig for relics at rest sites. Also a deck spot. Nice to have it. Clone. Oh, with Accelerate on upgrade. Has that always been the case? Armor Protocol, gain 5 block at the end of each turn while in defensive mode, brace 10. That seems questionable. Maybe we would just need to pick much more brace to make use of defensive mode at all. Right now it looks like we're building into Fierce Bash. I don't think I want to dig right now. If we want to go for that Elite. Yeah, some powers would be nice, that's for sure. Cloning the Fierce Bash would be amazing. If we don't rest here, we're probably gonna die to the boss. I'm gonna rest. That just seems like the safe move here. We could brace 10, then we would be in defensive mode next turn. I'm okay with that. But we take 11, so maybe I'm not so okay with that. At least we're fully defended this turn. The first Fierce Bash is always pretty hard to justify. Uh-oh. 21 left until defensive mode. There's no way we can enter that this turn. We don't have room for a clone if we want to charge core. This sucks. We need to draft more defensive stuff. Maybe recover. That could be used to get Fierce Bash into stasis. Still not a single... No, I have seen a ruby. I have seen a ruby. Forgot about that. Let's get our Arceus turning a bit. So we are actually close to defensive mode once we open this fight. Let's also clone and incinerate. Let's get that back next turn, so we can start going. Fierce Bash, Incinerate to open. The Recover is in this hand too, and I'm gonna redraw. I guess if we want the Fierce Bash to... Do we want to... Maybe we should just compile package instead. Defect doesn't help us put something from our hand in stasis. Bronze Armor will put us into defensive mode right now, which we don't really want. I think we just want the scaling from the Ancients. Let's start with the Ancient Power. The start of your turn accelerate, that's interesting. Ancient Attack, a Fierce Bash. Sadly I can't play that. We don't really need Ancient Construct now because we already have 2 artifacts, so we negate the first wave of debuffs the enemy does anyways. Is there anything we want to recover? I like an Incinerate here, so I have one next turn. Oh, this puts us into defensive mode. That's actually pretty decent. Still not quite enough to full defend. Wait, the thorns wear off before we are even attacked? That must be bugged, right? The thorns are pretty much useless that way. Also, we die. If we don't do this. Definitely defend. I think we might as well curl up because we're not gonna get into defensive mode, so we won't be able to use that for the block value. And then I think we recover Fierce Bash, Fierce Bash. What do we recover? We will be in defensive mode next turn? No, we won't. Another incinerate. Honklead, at the start of your second turn, gain 14 block. That's a huge help. Orb support. That seems reasonable. Put something random into stasis. It could be the Fierce Bash. That would be amazing. But even if it doesn't, that's fine. But we definitely need more and better block cards. I mean, Orb support is a block card, so... It actually hit the Fierce Bash. Let's see, we want a full defend if at all possible. Sentry would help us do that. We can't enter defensive mode even with a Spike or Protocol. So let's go with Sentry. And then we defend and Twin Slam. The upgraded Sentry waves no longer apply weak to every enemy, which is reasonable. That was a bit too strong in my opinion for a card that just sticks around for the rest of the fight basically. It now helps you get into defensive mode instead, which is nice. Dupe potion. Huh. Oh yeah, Ember is pretty much the card we want, but the gem we want. But there's also Temporal Shield, which is really good. Right now we need better defense, and I would love to take Ember here, but Guardian in Act 1, floor 15 with not max HP. This is a good sign. Well, instead we're at 11 HP and probably gonna die to the boss. I think Dupe is stronger than Energy here. Okay, incoming is 14. Let's start with an Orb support, see what we get. Twin Slam. Temporal Shield is nice. That's not actually 6 damage. We are gonna be vulnerable. That's gonna be 9. So 3 more. Yep. Good thing we have the Honklead this turn, because that's 20 damage incoming. That also doesn't account for vulnerable. So this is actually 10. And this is 19. So 29 incoming. Which means, as it stands right now, we are dead. We could double up the Incinerate, which gives us back our defend. We could double up the roll attack, which will brace for 10. But then we would still die to the Wild Strike. Let's sculpt some potions, because we're gonna need them. Then double up the Incinerate so we can actually defend. And then we double charge the core. So we have more draw. Wait, that was already affected by vulnerability apparently. Oh, okay. Then that wasn't too bad. Huh. We need to get this Fierce Bash into stasis, and sadly the recover is in our hand right now. So no other way than to play it right now. We're gonna get some wounds. Immolate. Do we reroute the temporal shield? Can we even allow that to happen? We can block for 17, that's alright. I think we should draw first. We don't want to roll attack now, because if we do that, we'll be in defensive mode next. No, we'll be dead. That's the reason. So we want to defend. Do we want to reroute or defend one more time? Whenever Ironclad generates a status card, a duplicate is added into your discard pile. By the way, that's why we get all these status effects. I really don't like drawing this fight out because of the status cards, but with this little health, we don't have a lot of options. Next turn we get our first pretty decent Fierce Bash off. We can also prevent the 7 damage here. This turn is purely defensive for the enemy. I want the other Incinerate, I think. Also, the strength is very nice. This made the roll attack cost 0, so we could enter defensive mode this turn with it. But that will be kind of a waste, unless we kill with it. Oh, that was a tough fight, very scary. When in defensive mode, raise your strength by 2. That just doesn't seem worth it, at least not for our deck. Onyx, gain an artifact, that's always nice. Even if we don't really use temporary scaling right now. Artifact is valuable just for its defense already. Sacred Park plus White Beast statue seems good to me. Double the effectiveness of all potions, so Swift Potion now draws 6 cards. Okay. We somehow survived the first act. 2 elites. One of them the Emerald Elite. We could get a Fire as well and a Merchant right before that. I definitely want to go to a Merchant early. And it's gonna be that one, yeah. Onyx belongs in Incinerate probably. It's hard to justify digging at the moment. 7 block brace 4. That's actually pretty reasonable. Accelerate. That's a decent upgrade, but it exhausts, so it will only have an effect once a fight at max. Temporal shield for the additional draw. That would be nice. I think I'm gonna go with that. We're lacking energy a little bit because we didn't get an energy boss relic. But we do have stasis to help with that, so we're probably okay. I'm gonna roll attack for the damage and the brace here. Maybe we can time it so we enter defensive mode at a good time. Against one of the large hits, perhaps. I wish I had that a little earlier. I'm just gonna go for the damage. As soon as we get the Fear Splash, will be good. We just need to defend against this attack. Which is sadly not possible with this hand. Can we kill? We can't kill either. This is a not great hand. Let's use the Swift Potion to win. Spiked Energy Drink. Muddle the 4 highest cost cards in your hand. Cards muddled this way cannot cost 3. Shield Charger now braces for 2 when it ticks, which is nice. I'm gonna take it. Not just for the brace, but also because we lack energy and we have ways to put stuff into stasis with cards like Clone, Orb Support and Recover, which somehow happen to all be in our starting hand. I guess I'm just gonna brace for as much as I can, so I will have an easier time entering defensive mode if I have to. Good thing we're defended for 14. Because we can't defend for any more than that at the moment. We definitely need some defense here. Let's put the shield charger up there. Also, we braced into defensive mode, which is helpful. But we still need some more defense. Weakening the enemy will do the job. And again, defensive mode ended before the enemy could take damage to the spikes. So yeah, the power that gives you spikes in defensive mode is just useless at the moment. That needs to be changed. We are slightly overusing our stasis at the moment, so I should avoid picking any more stasis cards for a while. Polishing Oil, gain 20 block and enter defensive mode. That's very good. That's a really good potion. It's usually 10 block, I assume. But still. Entering defensive mode gives you 10 block immediately, so that's nice. I think we want none of them. Gain 12 block. Actually, shield spikes. Gain 12 block, gain 4 temporary thorns if in defensive mode, otherwise brace 5. The 12 block you get always. I wish the brace would upgrade on upgrade as well. It doesn't, but I think that's still a good card. We need some more defensive stuff. Incoming 18. Let's see what Orb Support does. We can always put the bird on the ground if we charge core roll attack. Then we would take 7. We could also try to muddle all the cards. They can cost 3, so on average our hand would be cheaper. That didn't help at all. I guess it's still an upgrade. It still makes the hand better because I can play a stronger attack and the charge core stays in stasis for longer. Yeah. That's okay. Let's clone the Fierce Bash. Kill off the bird. We do have an artifact, so we can't be hexed by the Chosen, which makes them much less scary. Bronze is nice. Yeah, let's go with bronze here. We can bronze armor into defensive mode immediately. Fill our stasis slot with orb support and then hyper beam. The artifact prevents skipping the turn. Basically now we just need to survive until these Fierce Bashes come out of hiding. Doesn't seem like it should be too big of a challenge. Now we have the options of accelerating the Fierce Bash or accelerating the defensive mode. I'm gonna go with the higher damage one there. Well, we don't need the Fierce Bashes at all. Fear Potion applies 6 vulnerable. Multi-beam now ticks to increase its own damage by 1. By 2 on upgrade. I don't think that's anything we want in our deck. When Steam could be, but we're so low on gems right now. We have a lot of sockets to fill still. So that's a bit worse for that reason. Let's look at what Orb supports offers. Curl up, sure. It will be a bit late. As will the Temporal Shield if we reroute it. Should definitely compile. Probably go with the Orb Walker. Although Defect isn't bad. Defect isn't bad at all. Let's put the shield charger up there. A time capacitor. Then reroute the reroute. And the incinerate. Curl up, let's reroute the roll attack. And then shield spike. Shield spikes does put me in defensive mode, which grants me thorns, but they won't hit the enemy. Yeah, let's just add more attacks into stasis then. Let's see what we can recover there. Should have been the reroute instead, because the enemy's gonna leave before I get back the incinerate. Whew. This is tough. No. Armor Protocol. Not really. Harden must be in defensive mode. Exit defensive mode. Gain 18 block and 3 thorns. It's just... This card needs retain. Because the chance that we are in defensive mode the turn we draw Harden is almost 0 right now. I'm not sure I like the whole defensive mode rework at the moment, but maybe I'm just approaching it wrong. Garnet would be amazing. We want vulnerability. Definitely nice. Also, Happy Flower would be a way to gain extra energy. That's important. We are fighting the Silent. That looks like the splitting version. The one that has an additional target. I really like the Garnet here. I think I also want the Happy Flower and the bag of prep, probably. Anything else that would be amazing here? Bronze armor wouldn't be bad. But for artifact we already have an Onyx. I'm gonna go with the bag of prep. And actually a card removal on a strike. And then move on. Let's put the Garnet into reroute. I think that makes the most sense. Shield Charger Plus. I like the Recover upgrade the most right now. Or the Fierce Bash. 10 damage is pretty significant, and it's a card in we are probably gonna play multiple times in boss fights. So yeah. Tiny chest, every 4th treasure room, question mark room is now a treasure room. It's a bit late. Let's take the Sapphire key instead. Let's Orb Support to get something in stasis. So we can Temporal Shield. 15, incoming is 23. Let's just defend this turn. As soon as we draw into Recover, that's a bit late. We're gonna be drawing a new deck. I'm gonna clone the compile. It's a lot of incoming damage still. We can't get into defensive mode even with Spike Protocol. I'm gonna go with Ancients. That wasn't the best. I'm just gonna do this. And the game crashed. No idea what happened there. Yeah, sure. Let me do that real quick. Which folder was it in again? Send to devs, crash log? No, that can't be it. That's definitely not it. Michael, which folder, where do I find the log? send to devs folder and then logs, or it will be the second most recent if you just launch the game again. The second most recent. Sort by date, yep. Have that. Okay. I'm just gonna send it to you over Discord. That should be it. Does the stream work or nope? Not right now. Let me change that real quick. There we go. I hope I got the correct one. But I think that should be it. Let's try again. Maybe we don't break it this time. Orb support, temporal shield. And then double defend for this turn. If we're gonna use polishing oil, we might as well start by doing so. Roll attack is now AoE because we are actually in defensive mode. Still gonna go for the ancients, and I'm gonna start with ancient power. I don't have a leaf defensive mode debuff anymore. Is it the polishing oil that breaks it? Because I don't have a leaf defensive mode debuff. Okay, that sucks, if that's the case. Obviously this breaks the stream again, unless I change it like this. Okay, I'm just assuming it's the defensive mode from the polishing oil that breaks it. So we're gonna try to play around it another way. Meaning we are likely gonna take some damage here. Brace 10. Roll attack got made 0 cost, that's nice. Walker Claw, we can play that. I'm gonna dupe the roll attack, which will give us a defensive mode entry. Maybe I should have used the polishing oil there to get rid of it. But I can always do so at the end of the fight, I guess. And then we incinerate. We do have an artifact. Well, we won't gain the temporary thorns. Might as well play it anyways for the brace though, so that we possibly can get into defensive mode again quite soon. This turn, in fact. Reroute a roll attack. Okay, we somehow managed to get through this. Fire potion, deal 40 damage. Got the crash fix, but can't push an update right now. That's fine. Was it the polishing oil problem? Do I need to avoid playing that this run? Gonna take another shield charger. This fight might be troublesome. I'm probably just gonna fire potion the backliner immediately. You got into a state where you were in defensive stance without the defensive mode turn counter power somehow. So when the stance tried to remove the power, it wasn't there and null crashed. Okay. Yeah, then it's apparently a problem with the polishing oil. That means I should waste my polishing oil when I have the chance. Let's compile a hyper beam. Okay, that should make this fight pretty straightforward from this here on out. Or rather, we end it immediately. Darkstone Periapt, Emerald Key, Swift Potion. I forgot to waste the polishing oil. I definitely need to think about that next fight. Amethyst, yes, that helps us defend in a pretty meaningful way. And we want to go to the right after the next fight. Okay. So with the orb support. And then I guess we put the Fierce Bash up there. Cloning the shield charger is nice. And then shield spikes for defense. I'm gonna take one here, that's fine. Let's go Orb Walker for the straight up damage. And put the 0 cost Incinerate up there. Although the Fierce Bash will definitely be enough to win here. Gambler's Brew. Oh, yeah. Just discard that. Sapphire Gem, Brace 2. Brace 2? That's so little. It used to be enter defensive mode. Still good. But time capacitor. Time capacitor, it has to be time capacitor. We make heavy use with the from our stasis. Remove a card, gain a random gem. We definitely do that. Are we now defensive enough? Let's remove one defend. Gaining a ruby. We could remove a socket a card to gain its gems. I like my incinerate. Reroad honestly less so. Reroad is really not that great. Well, we have the time capacitor. It's okay. Destroy all gems in a socket a card. Definitely don't want to do that. So let's socket an amethyst into roll attack. And ruby into a twin slam. And then move on. That was a nice event. Let's see what Op support gives us. Reroute. How about we clone the incinerate and incinerate? No, I don't want to miss out on the roll attack. That's a lot of damage. Probably should have used the fear potion at the start of the turn, actually. Let's go reroute the temporal shield. And then just damage. Fine. I'll admit my mistake. Gain the strength there thanks to our artifact. Forgot about that. Start with this. Fierce Bash is too slow here. Let's go with an Orb Walker package. It's pretty quick damage. Huh? Didn't it just come out of stasis? Why does it still cost 1? Okay. Huh. Okay, thank you, Michael. Very much appreciate that. Just don't play Snecko. Yeah, that's not on my... It's not part of my plans today for today, so... That was decent damage. This deck is starting to work. Speed potion, 10 temporary decks, which we can prevent with a single artifact. Another recover would be nice. Yeah. Clone also, but I think recover is more important. Garnet. Piercing height, 5 block, 2 temporary thorns, brace 3. 7 block, still brace 3. Not sure if that's all that great for us. Balor's Lordly Blade. Whenever you brace, reduce mode shift's counter by 1. That's good with many small brace effects. Which is not really what we are doing, but kinda what we are doing. Yeah, we are... No, actually with shield chargers and recover. Just not sure if it's really worth it for just 10 block. Like, it's a lot of work to put in for just 10 block. There's a rest site right ahead of us. I'm gonna pick the Garnet. I want more vulnerability. Are there any upgrades we really need to do? Time capacitor is not that critical. Recover kind of... It's kind of nice. I don't think we need any upgrades immediately. Dig! Ornamental fan. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 4 block. Yeah, we do that from time to time. That's good enough. Start with compile. Wanna go with the ancients. Wanna get that scaling. Let's go with the power. Armor protocol, sure. Made the twin slam free. That's great because I wanted to play that anyways. To get the temporary strength from it. Let's play the ancient attack first. So the twin slam actually kills off that sneaky gremlin. And then we are 1 damage short of killing the other one. And we'll take 4. Maybe I didn't really play that as well as I could have. Let's clone the Fierce Bash, recover a shield charger. And then kill the frontliner. Can we get into... No way. Nope, not gonna happen. I would love an AoE roll attack here, but that's just not available this turn. That means... we recover the other shield charger. And then start incinerating. Might as well curl up here. I don't need the defense. Did the armor protocol just trigger, or did I just imagine that? Let's go time capacitor, ancient construct. Oh, oops, there was nothing to recover. We don't need to waste that on the frontliner. This is basically what we use to kill. It does flash. I just am not sure if it actually triggers. We do have a lot of artifacts, so Twin Slam gives us another strength. And then we can finally start hitting the Gremlin leader a bit more. This is now 55 damage. There we go. Didn't even use a potion. Now we can pick up another one. Fragmented gem. How many slots do we have left? Curl up. It's the only one. I'm gonna go with another ruby. We can use these to scale our strength up. We do generate a decent amount of artifact, usually. Just not right now. I'm actually... I kinda wanna dig for it. It's... didn't find it. Gonna clone a shield charger at least. That helps us with energy. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Turns like this. At least we're fully defended thanks to our horn clear this time around. But that won't always be the case in the future. Let's set up more shield chargers. Start incinerating so we get to this fierce bash as soon as possible. And these shield chargers are very good at defending us at the very least. Twin slam for a strength. Let's compile. Spheric, I guess. What happens if we... Oh, we can stack defensive mode time. But that's not very good if we leave it immediately. I should also have used that. The temporary thorns, but I think we just win here, right? Like that. Liquid bronze, gain 6 thorns, very nice. I'll take another temporal shield, these are very useful. Okay. Let's Ruby then Orb support one of you. That was the correct target. Do want to get that Fierce Bash ready. We'll be taking a bit of damage this turn. I'm also gonna use the Thorns potion. Spheres is pretty decent. Except that we can't use Fierce Bash this way. And then Harden to gain a lot of thorns. The enemy is doing 8 plus 3 strength, so not actually 8, it's actually 7 times 2, 14. Orb Slam makes it easy for me to pick out the correct target. Is there anything we want to recover? Yeah, there is. There's a Fierce Bash in there. Let's Temporal Shield to see what we draw. Time Capacitor is exactly what I was looking for. Roll attack, strength down. Nice. Nice, hit the right one. Huh? I have 2 defensive mode now? Not sure exactly why, but I appreciate it. Anything we want to recover in there? Not immediately. Let's draw. That doesn't help. I guess we clone the roll attack. And let's recover a shield charger, why not? Enemy's blocking a lot this turn. We are actually in defensive mode and have the roll attack at the same time. It's a rarity. Riddle with holes. Not a huge problem. Let's harden. Rerouting the Twin Slam, I guess. Might as well curl up. Get my next defensive mode entry earlier. Enemies not attacking this turn, which I appreciate. Let's get that ready again. And we should be able to get the kill here, I think. Let's get the strength, let's apply the vulnerability. Oh, it's the back one for once. And incinerate them. That worked. Blessing of the Forge. Upgrade all cards in your hand for the rest of the combat. Pre-upgraded Fierce Bash? Not really. Exploit gems. That could be nice. Make room for some more gem action. Sozu can no longer obtain potion. That's a no-go. Philosopher's Stone. All enemies start combat with 1 strength. Maybe. Calling Bell. We do have the Darkstone parry up, so we will gain 6 HP as well. But I really want the 4th energy. So yeah, we take Philosopher's Stone. Enemies start with 1 strength, but we gain an energy. That should be a good deal. I think... was it this version of Defect that scaled off our powers? So we need to be careful there. We also need to recall and break all the keys this floor. I want to visit a couple of fires, but I definitely want to visit the merchant because we should be able to kill them. Gain the 300 souls from that. So I'm actually gonna start here. Break the emerald right away. Ruby goes into the exploit gems. Do I want to break the sapphire as well? Might as well. Exploit gems doesn't need the upgrade really. I think we're just gonna keep digging for relics at this point. Kunai! Every time you play 3 attacks in a turn, gain 1 dexterity. That's really nice. Especially once we have some stasis in progress. We can pretty often trigger that. Let's see. Oh, there's a hyper beam available. Let's get the artifact so we don't have to skip our turn. Vulnerability with that, then Orb Support kills this one, and there we go. Attack Potion. That's nice. Temporary Dex. Suspension though. Draw a card, place a card in your hand into stasis. Yes, please. I really wanted something that can affect cards in our hands as well. Orb Support... for sure. And I think we just finished that one off. And then curl up for some brace. Let's suspend the shield charger, that seems reasonable. Gain a strength. And then start dishing out some damage. Why does it feel like this is not affected by weakness? It's 20 by base, 2 with the strength, so 22. So if I target an enemy, it should say 33. Let's see. It's 22. It's not affected by strength for some reason. Got rid of 2 dazed. Very nice. I'm gonna clone the reroute. We are fully defended thanks to our shield charger and stuff. Nice. Brew of Sharpness gain 50 counter. But these potions are so strong. But that's 50 damage right there. Accelerate until a card in stasis returns to your hand. I think that belongs in this deck. Can we get an artifact here? Maybe. I'm just looking for an artifact, honestly. Okay, we got the 10 strength. So from this point on, it should be an easy kill against the merchant. I wish I had some better defense. Oh, I do. There we go. That's full defense. And then we kill the enemy. Nice. Another 6 vulnerability potion. Pre-program. That's tempting. But I'm not gonna take it. I think we have too many cards that put things into stasis right now. Aquamarine would be nice. I do like that. Ghost Guard isn't bad. It's also not amazing. Card removal perhaps. It's too late for Singing Bowl. We don't really need Lee's Waffle. We need 200... No, we only need 100 souls to break the final key. Am I okay with taking an unupgraded temporal shield and not upgrading it? Not entirely. I am gonna take an all walk though. Tesseract. Do we want boss cards? Not that much. Ghost Guard, Dark Void, Face Slap. Who are we up against? Defect? Well, most bosses block regularly, so Face Slap isn't bad. Ghost Guard is never bad because it's Ethereal Afterlife. Draws you a card. That's just very easy to work in. Let's fight the Nemesis. Guess we go with the Orb Walker here. See what Orb Support offers us. Recover. Yeah, sure. not a bad setup turn, but we are gonna take a bunch of damage. Let's at least deal a bunch back. $52 block? Alright, these shield chargers. They also got consumed because they were 0 cost. Huh. Let's put the incinerate up there so we can temporal shield to draw. Time capacitor definitely goes out, and then I think we reroute the twin slam and play the ghost guard so it doesn't consume. Incinerate. Let's clone the Fierce Bash, even though that's most likely not necessary. That's a problem. And that's 46 damage. That's our problem. At least we're in defensive mode this turn. Emergency, we need a Fierce Bash. Actually, we need a Fierce Bash next turn, so let's not play it. That means we also can play this Incinerate or that Incinerate. Should have played those earlier. Charge Core. And then we have a giant Fierce Bash this turn. Maybe some vulnerability. Some strength at least. There we go. Vashra, start each combat with 1 strength, and Temporal Potion. Accelerate all cards in stasis 4 times. That's really good. Crystal Shiv, is that what we want? Or do we want one of these two? Probably the Ruby. Although we might have too many rubies at this point. If you end your turn without block, gain 6 block from the Orichalcum. Nice to have, but not really critical here. We have a pretty solid block core at this point. Anything we want to suspend right now? Let's finish the Exploder off and gain some dex. Okay. Let's actually put the suspension up there, so we have it available next turn in case we draw into one of the expensive cards that we want to put into stasis, like a shield charger, for example. Let's put a couple shield chargers up there. That's just a draw for us right now. Let's start focusing on this Ferric Guardian. Oh, I rerouted a Ruby. That wasn't entirely what I intended to do, but it's okay. Let's keep that suspension going. It's gonna be important to us. Orbok isn't a bad suspend target either. Okay, shield spikes for some non-temporary thorns. Emergency for a lot of energy. And then let's put another Fierce Bash up there and the emergency actually. Although that doesn't quite work out because we still have the shield charger going. But the single accelerate would do the job. So we could get our Fierce Bash back. I'm gonna use it anyways. So we have it next turn. There we go. That wasn't necessary at all. We do just win with that, right? Just block enough so we don't take damage to the spikes, and then Blessing of the Forge, I'm gonna skip on that. Another time capacitor, we don't need a second one. Temporal Strike, kinda unnecessary as well. Okay, that's pretty strong. Fierce Bash, and we reroute an emergency. Fierce Bash again. And then let's defend as well as we can. Only taking 1 damage here. And then we can emergency immediately again and Fierce Bash. And actually not finish the fight. But that's fine. There we go. Skill potion. Probably gonna take that actually. Do we want another incinerate? Yeah. Incinerate is good. And more. Hi Chris, welcome. Let's go with the Fierce Bash, Incinerate and Twin Slam for the strength. We need some defense out of this. That's not a lot of defense we get there. Can we go into defensive mode? We can brace 3 with the recover and 10 with the Spire protocol, which isn't enough. I guess we have to hope that the Ancients will help. For every third 0-cost card you play, gain energy and draw a card. This makes a card cost 0. So that will work. We're still not there yet. Exhaust all gems and all socket the cards. Sure. That was a good chunk of damage. I should probably use a skill potion here. Gain 3 block, brace 1. Wow, Stasis Shield has been nerfed hard. kinda want an incinerate here. Looks like I'm not gonna get it. I should have taken the emergency. Yeah, should have. Still need a bit more defense. This will put us into defensive mode. Let's gain the spikes. Okay. Another speed potion for another 10 decks. Another suspension, that's tempting. Polybeam Plus would also work quite well with the strength we are gaining. Do we need another well-scaling attack? Don't we have Fierce Bash for that? I'm gonna go for the suspension actually. Make our stasis stuff work a bit better. Sure. Let's do another suspension. That was a weird turn. I should have rerouted that emergency. Oops. That would have been smart. This will put us into defensive mode, which is nice. Incoming is 53. That's actually a lot. Can we kill one of them? Yeah, we can. That makes it easy. Then is incinerate? We don't need to. We get that back anyways. Let's instead recover an emergency, so we can immediately get the Fierce Bash back. Oops, that was the wrong target probably. But I think it's fine. This fight is pretty much over. Let's get that Fierce Bash. More incinerates is good. Nice. Vexing Drought. Gain 4 strength and 4 dex. Add 2 burn plus status cards to your draw pile. 4 strength and 4 dex. But 2 burns. Not interested actually. Ancient Attack, Onyx. It's gotta be Onyx, right? Onyx is very strong. Okay, so Giant Head. I think we're okay against Giant Head. We might be very okay against Giant Head. Could suspend it. But I could also play for damage. It's not like I don't have the energy for that, so... It's 58 damage. That's something. Let's reroute and incinerate. That might be a bit too much stasis right now. That's fine. Let's curl up, then compile. Or walker actually. Incinerate for the Fierce Bash. We need to play a few more cards there. Anything... There's a lot of things we want to put into stasis right now. But I kind of want the Fierce Bash to be in front. So only 0 costs. Let's play the Orborg. Then I guess it's time for damage. Let's clone the Fierce Bash. Then we Walker Claw, Fierce Bash, and finally recover a Shield Charger. Yeah, that makes sense. Accidentally entered the defensive mode. That's an emergency. Can we reroute it or anything? Not right now. Do we Orborg this turn? We definitely Orborg. Twin Slam. And 2 giant Fierce Bashes for the win. Blood Vial at the start of each combat, heal 2 HP, nice to have it. Explosive Potion, deal 20 to all enemies, I'm gonna skip that. Another Incinerate. I'm gonna skip. I think I have enough Incinerates now. 2 and I can often generate a 3rd. That's good enough. I messed up. I needed to recall at the start of the map. Now I can't break the key anymore. Oops. I guess we can safely upgrade then. That's gotta be Orborg. That's actually fine. We're gonna finish in the good pace if we don't do now. I want a temporal shield, I want to draw here. We wrote this Incinerate actually. Also want the other one up there. What do I suspend here? Roll up? Curl up? Most likely. Let's reduce their strength. And then shield spikes. should be able to enter defensive mode here, yeah, with the recover pretty easily. Let's go suspension for the Fierce Bash here. Let's compile... Bronze. Let's go Hyper Beam for some damage. Any way to draw more cards? No. Not right now. Let's put the Orb Walk up there. One more turn of intangibility where we need to survive. After that, we should be in a good spot. That helps a lot. And then shield spikes. The emergency was probably a mistake there, right there. Definitely was. I'm gonna take some damage here. Actually, let's not. Things are happening. And my hand is broken. Huh? What happened? These cards are behaving very weirdly. Something broke there, but at least the game didn't crash, so that's nice. Guardian Whirl must be in defensive mode, exit defensive mode, deal 4 damage 5 times to all enemies. It's now 1 cost, but there's a good reason for that. It's much harder to play now. Well, do we have another gem slot open? We don't have another rest site, is the problem. We have Fierce Bash Emergency. No reason not to use that. And then we Temporal Shield and Orb Support for defense. Oops, stasis already in progress. That's fine though. Is that fine? Yeah, this is totally fine. Nice. Snack oil, draw 10 cards, randomize the cost of your cards in hand. No. I'm gonna say no. Okay, as soon as we get some artifact, we can get going. Compiled package is usually a good source. Especially in this case. Let's gain an artifact. Ah, I should have... No, we can still do this. Drink this for 10 strength, then drink these for 20 dex. And then we gain an artifact, so we prevent the loss at the end of turn. Then we'll give them focus. I am okay with that. Perform the following 2 times. Sadly, that's empty. Let's see what Orb Supports puts up there. A recover. I'm okay with that. I hope we draw either the Time Capacitor or an Incinerate here. We drew both. Time Capacitor. And suspend an Orb Walk. Temporal Shield, gain 33 block. Just casually. What do we put up there? Probably the Emergency, actually. Emergency is such a good card in this deck. Let's exploit gems for strength. I'm gonna clone the Emergency. Get that Orb Walk back. I don't need more strength. I need that Fierce Bash up there so I can Emergency it next turn. And just play the Orb Walk out. Oh yeah, I'm happy with the Suspend up there. I don't really want to reroute anything. 25 on the counter. Do we need more defense? We don't. Okay. Looking good so far. Let's exploit. I want to draw more. Ooh. Emergency Fierce Bash. Let's see what we can suspend here. The Shield Charger seems good. Then Emergency Shield Bash, Fierce Bash again. Yeah, why not? Just play these cards. These cards are pretty good. I don't want to do that. There we go. Next turn we should finish this. Kinda wanna finish this with a Fierce Bash. Maybe we can. There we go. Just 66 damage? Would have expected this to be bigger by now. Oh well, good enough. Well, I was weak, that's probably why. Well, Guardian has changed a lot, how it feels, how it plays. Oh, we have a few unlocks. Gemstone Gum. Upon pickup, choose 3 gems. At the start of each combat, gain a card with Retain, Exhaust, and has each of the chosen gems socketed. So the card retains and exhausts, and has just the 3 gem effects, I would assume. I'd assume it's 0 cost, but it doesn't say here. But yeah, that's interesting. Could be potentially very powerful. Like, an energy gem is basically a lantern that you can delay if you want, with just a single gem, and then you have 2 more gems that you could use. An artifact gem is basically a clockwork souvenir. 2 draw gems and you have a bag of preparation. And all of them you can delay until the right time. That's a very strong relic, now that I think about it. You won't always get what you're looking for. Sometimes you just won't find artifact or draw. But you should almost always find something that's pretty good. Arumba's Pocket Sentry. At the start of each turn, alternates between deal 7 damage to a random enemy, apply 1 weak to all enemies. Nice! Applying weak to all enemies every second turn is very good. The damage is just a nice plus on top of that. Bottled Anomaly. Upon pickup, choose a card. At the start of each combat, remove it from your draw pile. At the start of turn 3, add it into your hand, it costs 0. So basically starts in some kind of alternate stasis. That just always takes 3 turns to get out of. That's reasonable. Actually quite good. Especially if it's an expensive card. I assume it costs 0 for the entire combat as well, because it doesn't say it costs 0 until played or this turn. Yeah, I like it. Anyways, that's it for the Guardian. We're gonna move over to the next character. From what I've seen so far, the Guardian has changed quite a bit, and it feels tougher. Especially, I feel like some of these brace values might be a bit off still, and I wonder about Stasis Field. That seems really kind of weak. But maybe I'm underestimating it. Stasis Strike isn't better though. They have both been nerfed. Maybe that makes sense. They do have a socket after all. Allows you to play to get the effect every second turn. But compare those to the where is it? The Sentry Beam? Sentry Wave? Sentry Blast? Is that an uncommon? It probably is an uncommon, huh? Sentry Blast, right. 5 damage, 7 damage. And you get an effect every turn out of this one. These ones cost 1, so they will only be effective every second turn. So like with the Sentry Blast you get for 0. Well, the others will only cost 1 the first time you play them, but still. 0 you gain 7 damage weak and brace 2. And here you gain 6 damage, granted this scales with strength much better. But you would need 2 yeah, with 2 strength it's already better, so I guess that's reasonable. Oh! It's the new year here. Happy New Year, everyone. Yeah. It's now 2021 where I'm at. Quite a lot of firework going on out there. Well, I hope 2021 is gonna be a bit better than 2020. Even though it wasn't all that bad for me. But a lot of people I know had a really bad time. So for their sake, I really hope it's gonna be better in 2021. Thank you so much, Chris. Thanks, Janet, for you in an hour. Okay, so you are a bit more to the west. Yeah, I think the Stasis Strike and Field might be a bit over nerfed for a rare card. Although they do have a gem slot. I forgot that in my comparison. Never mind. If you socket a strong gen in there, they're probably definitely worth the rarity. But you will usually need a rare gem to make it really worth. Anyways, that was interesting.